So we've talked a little bit about the rest stroke, and now I want to talk about the free stroke. And I believe I've shown you how to use the free stroke. Now we're going to use it a little bit with some alternation here. And it's going to be basically the exact same exercise we just did with I and M alternating on the first string. But this time, instead of resting after each pluck, we're going to use the free stroke. So the finger is going to, if you look in the close-up, the finger is going to swing away from the string and follow through each time. So as you pluck this first string, you're going to get this. Oops. Okay, and then M finger, same thing, pluck, and follow through. And then when we alternate, it's going to be I, M, I, M, I, M, I, M. Then you're going to do the second string just as before. My thumb is planted the whole time here. And be listening for that tone. If you can get the best tone possible, that's important. And it doesn't matter how fast you go, play slowly and cleanly. Then just go right through all the strings, same idea. And with the metronome, it's going to sound a little bit... Well, this is a high speed, but eventually... Okay, so those are all free strokes alternating between I and M. Now let's continue with some more free stroke exercises. These are going to use multiple fingers at the same time. So,
do these exercises cost anything? Are they free?
These are free to members of Next Level Guitar.
They're free strokes.
Yes, okay. Well, your fingers are going to love this. This is simultaneous I, M, and A. And so we're going to go back to our planted beginning position where everything starts. Thumb on 6, I, M, A on 3, 2, 1. And we're just going to pluck all I, M, and A at the exact same time. Okay? And all three strings together with a free stroke should sound like. Notice my thumb stays planted the whole time. And you can see in the close-up the movement from my hand. My fingers are swinging back underneath here. They're not plucking up away from the guitar, and I'm not bending my knuckles like this. I'm plucking straight through. So if I turn the angle a little bit here, you may be able to see in the small angle the right hand. So those fingers are moving up and away, just totally free, not coming into contact with anything. Okay, so we can practice this with the metronome. First start without and then add the metronome. Make sure you plant before you pluck each time. Pluck, plant. Pluck, plant. Okay? And eventually... So you can mute the strings with all your fingers as well. You can make very short staccato sounds if you plant very quickly after you pluck. Or you can let it ring. Again, this is just right hand basics, but it's very important to work on this by itself for a while before you add anything with the left hand, just so you can keep track of what's going on. There's a lot to think about, and if you add too many variables at once, things can get complicated. So, again, before the metronome, just get comfortable with this, then add the metronome, then we'll start adding some left hand. So, that's simultaneous I, M, and A together. the next step is to add P to that. And this is an interesting feeling because you're plucking with all fingers at the same time, and there's nothing resting after you've finished. So you have to be very careful not to move your hand too far away from the guitar as you pluck, because you have to be right there to plant and be ready to play again after this. So I pluck with all 4 fingers, plant. Now you'll notice my right wrist is not moving. My right wrist is not moving up away from the guitar or back or anywhere. It's really just staying in the same place while my fingers close like this. Close and open. And again, I'm moving from this knuckle, not these. Okay, so practice this with the metronome. Start around 60 when you feel comfortable, and then work up, go as fast as you can eventually. Next, we're going to talk about alternating fingers. Now, instead of alternating I and M, we're going to alternate with the thumb. So this is a slight different technique, but after you've practiced this all 4 at the same time, your thumb should be a little more comfortable with the free stroke. Again, with the free stroke, you move away from the strings. You don't rest on the string like before. You move out and away. And I actually pluck a little bit this way, like almost forward with my thumb. And what that does is it keeps it from getting in the way of these other fingers. So the thumb goes that way and these fingers go this way. They never really hit each other. Okay? But to alternate between thumb and I, we're going to just plant in our regular position here. I on the high string, first string. That's your index finger. And your thumb on the low string. And then we're just going to alternate. We're going to play free strokes. Thumb, first finger. Thumb, first finger. So that's P, I. And you can use a rest stroke with this too. You can do rest, 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 rest. Okay, free stroke again. Then you can use the other exercise I showed you a little while ago with these 3 plucking at the same time, and instead of playing with your thumb, you can alternate these with your thumb. So what you have is P, then I, M, A together. I'm playing fairly loud here. I can play very quietly as well. So experiment with all these different volume levels. Try to get different tones. Back here maybe. A little more sweet sound. But just alternate with that. And again, when you put on the metronome, start at a medium speed here, maybe around 70s, 60s. And doing 2 clicks for each pluck. And then maybe do 1 for each. It's twice as fast now.